How do you create content when you are a busy entrepreneur? I have a strategy where I just spend an hour every week. I get on a call with someone from my team and they ask me the right questions to pull that content out of me. I'm going to share with you the entire structure of how we do that and how you can too. So this is a very leveraged hour, and especially if I don't have something on the calendar, other things will fill it. I have to make sure this is like one of my non-negotiable blocks. I can't tell you how many clients I have that they're like, yes, I'm going to film content. And then next week I'm like, how was your content? And they're like, I didn't do it because something else came up. Something else will always come up. Even the dishes will look more attractive than creating content sometimes, because it's like one of those things that can feel like a grind at times. I have worked really hard in trying to find ways that content can feel like a game. I even created a program called the Content Game. And one of the things that I'm loving so much right now is remote filming, where I get on with my team. I'm on Riverside right now. He's actually watching me right now as I film this, but it works and it gets the best content out of me. And they can also ask the right questions to, maybe take me a direction that I wasn't thinking about in that moment, but is going to create the best kind of content. It is so much better to spend 60 minutes just even rambling out your ideas and being able to edit it afterwards than spending 6 hours staring at a blank document, trying to write this perfect word for word script. And then if you're not good at reading from a teleprompter or memorizing your lines, then the whole thing feels like a bust anyway. Especially when your filming feels conversational, you are so much more brilliant unscripted than you are in your overthinking. So here's our process. It is so simple. I just have someone from my team interview me every week. It could be a team member, it could be a contractor, it could even be a strategic friend. Their job is to ask you questions that pulls out stories or hot takes and even your frameworks and social proof.
Yeah, I was gonna say one thing that you could talk about too is like,
see, he's doing it right now. This is really the secret sauce that turns this content into assets. So what I like to do is we reverse engineer the framework by finding a popular video or popular topic. And from there, you can even put this into ChatGPT to ask, what questions can I ask to pull out stories around this topic? I once paid a book writing coach a lot of money, and the biggest thing that I learned from her was not to try to write a book from like beginning to end. She said to write it through a question-based outline. What is the book about? What is this chapter about? If you had to speak to the essence of this chapter, what are all the questions that you can answer? And then instead of writing to be like, oh, well, I did this, and then here's my chronological order of my life and a memoir, it was answer this question, and then this question, and then this question. And that's kind of the same thing that's happening in these YouTube videos. The great thing about this whole strategy is that because the whole strategy is based around questions, each question can easily become a piece of micro content. So we have this long form piece of content, but then we can also take the little sections out based on the questions that we answered in each part. So this can turn into reels and TikToks and carousels and text-based posts and tweets. Do you see how 1 hour of filming content with your team on Zoom or Riverside or wherever you have them, or even, behind the camera, can easily turn into weeks of content? What's also really fun that you can't get from sitting at your computer and scripting everything out word for word is when you'll go on those like spicy rants or tangents or passionate hot takes that can only kind of come out when you're in a conversation with someone that kind of makes you come alive or you feel comfortable with on camera. Like if I'm talking to myself, I'm talking this little piece of plastic and metal, I either have to get into a good flow state, or if I'm like laughing and having fun with, my crew, then I can actually get into a flow state where I can be more funny, I can be more myself. Whereas when you're reading from a script, you don't really have the side thoughts to be able to just show your personality. Also, if you make a mistake because you stumbled on your words or you said something that was an absolute ramble and didn't make sense, you're human. This absolutely kills burnout and can speed up cash flow, because every single video, you have your topic, you have your question-based outline, you've reverse engineered what call to action it's gonna go to. You can take those questions and turn them into short form pieces of content, and you only spend an hour a week that you block out on your calendar, same time every week, to create this content, and you can create weeks in advance. You're just talking and turning it into money. Once you have this strategy incorporated, the next thing you're gonna need is a really spicy killer CTA that's gonna convert. And so what I have for you, if you click the link below, we have a build your perfect funnel challenge, because you need to get your funnel dialed in, that people come from this video, click your link, they easily opt in and buy your stuff. So I have a challenge. It's 5 days. You're going to go through the video every day for 5 days. At the end of that, you're going to have your throttle funnel. That's a funnel that can take people from free to low ticket to high ticket in the same funnel. Click it, check it out, the Build Your Perfect Funnel Challenge. I'll see you next time.